Islam, Sheikh Dwayne Baffa. Islam, my moisture recognition family, but I'm speaking to you, Sheikh Dwayne Baffa. Islam, how you doing? I hope well. This is my lounge where, I don't spend much. It's let me tell you the date first. It is first quarter moon. First quarter moon. Actually, it's first quarter moon. I'm sitting here and burning my incense. I'm around Arrington-Bey. Your wife this lifetime. Burning my incense. Really nice and cleansing. And I'll read what the first quarter moon says here. And then I'll start. Dwayne Baffa, do you remember when we first met? Okay. I've been experiencing a lot. I'm changing. And I'm changing fast. I think it has a lot to do with herbs, the herbs that I'm taking, and the transitioning I'm making in my diet, and possibly other aspects of my life. But I'm definitely changing. So this is the astrology deck I brought. I don't know if you can see. Anyway, it says first quarter moon is the phase. The moon is 50% lit, with the sun illuminating its right side. The name first quarter comes from the fact that the moon is a quarter way from the Earth orbit. This phase brings growth and understanding to the lessons of the new moon, and it can also test your commitment to those lessons. The first quarter moon is a perfect time to reassess your intentions and decide what part of your plans need to be revised. People born in this phase are typically passionate and action oriented. Islam. So this is first quarter moon. Okay. So now I just got through, we are supposed to be transitioning, Imani and I, to raw fruits and vegetables. I'm not as thin as I was before. But I'm back to exercising again, and I'll go from there and just take it really, really slow. So we are transitioning. I said February the 16th, but we're gonna. So the thing is, we're gonna transition to mostly fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables during the week, and then cook. So we are able to do it. Right now, we eat very little starch. Bread is still in our life. So if we able, and plant-based pancakes are still in our life, and then there's starch on the plant-based food we buy. So if we can do that, we can go to the next step, right? So anyway, oops, what is that? So what I want to talk to you about, Dwayne Islam Sheikh Dwayne Baffa, I'm on Arrington-Bey. Life. Sometimes, and what you see now is my incense burn. If you see smoke, it's just incense burning. It's a nice incense. It's called the sun. So anyway, Sheikh Dwayne Baffa. I was sitting here thinking so many times, in reference to cleansing my psyche. I asked myself, I was like, gosh, what is up with me in these vampire movies? Because I don't crave red meat. I'm not a beef eater. But I am somehow very, very connected to the engagements of bonding, a blood bonding. And it was before I met you. You're the only one I blood bonded with, Sheikh Dwayne Baffa. You're the only one. I've never done anything like you. Well, you already know this, and I'm not gonna be like, yeah, and I'm just, just keeping it 100. I never entered a sacred mental growth before until I met you, and I never did a blood bond with anyone except for you, Islam. And to those who's probably been and knew about these planes, the mental planes, the sacred mental growth, and how late I did it, they probably just like she's way behind and she's old, you know. But I woke up late. I was turning 40. Well, I was about 37, so I was say 30. So I was about 37 when 37, 38 approximately, and then I met you when I was turning 40. So yeah, I turned 40 that year when I met you. And so my birthday, my birthday, Earth Day, is July 24th. So anyway, but that was my time, my divine time. So I was like, trying to like let the violence go, like, so much with the movies. But there's something about the vampire movies that I just, I'm just so connected with. It's like me really having I just felt a little something here, so I'm just trying to get relaxed. As I try, as I was trying to I'm gonna try to articulate, because this, I had to think about, do I want to talk about this with on video, but I am. So anyway, I just try to right now, because nothing is a coincidence for me. Everything has a reason. So I realized that in as some more say, my journey, but the journey I'm on. But as I awake, I just know that everything is for a reason. And so there's always just been some very strong attraction to these movies in reference to vampires and werewolves too. But werewolves, it can be a little bit too gruesome. Also, some of the vampire movies, but not too much. I don't know. It's just the werewolf movies, yeah, they can be a little bit too, But the ones that aren't too, more like that fantasy, I can watch. But anyway, just to get a long story short, you are the first one I did the blood bonding with, and it came so natural to me. Sheik Dwayne Byfield Bey, it was so natural, and in the ethers, it's like I was a different being. Islam, I know I'm a celestial being. Islam, I am. I'm a divine celestial being. But when I was in the ethers with you, it was something so different in reference to me and you, and how I wanted to engage. And the next step was, I was just like, okay, what can I remember when I first connected with you, and I remember how when we were blood bond, I would do all, either the neck. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, it was the neck, or we'll do our hands, and some Moors that were paying attention will wrap something around, and we'll blood bond that way, and hold our hands really, really tight, and do a prayer. When we were consummating our vows, we blood bonded. So what I'm trying, we did it so many times, right? So what I'm trying to say is, I remember it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot. And it's not easy for me to talk about this on video, because I said it online. Yes, I did on social media, but I could just easily erase it. It's like, oh, whatever. But I can erase this too. But I'm going to go ahead and speak of this. because the blood bonding is what signify obligation. As far as I know, I was the first one. You didn't do it with her. You did it with me. I never forget, Dwayne. When we first did it, I'm gonna try to articulate and finish a sentence. One of the first times we were doing it, I was like, I posted this movie, the movie with Aaliyah, Queen of the Dam, when the pale skinned girl, didn't know who she was, and then she didn't know that she was half, or her family was part of her family was vampires, and what they would call vampires, but or in that manner, or a different being. And when she met the guy, that the movie, the star guy, which she is the star person too of the movie, they sort of clicked. And anyway, she started to go back and think about her life when she was growing up, and it seemed like, and she started to remember how her family was trying to keep her protected from those that she was around, that was could have been considered to be her family, but could have done her harm, in reference to vampirism, right? So I remember I posted a clip of that to you, and I remember, and anyway, and just leave it at that. Also, I remember, because we were blood bonding so much, I never forget when we got in an argument. We were arguing about something, and as far as I know, once again, you weren't doing it with her, you were doing it with me. And it was happening so much that the National Grand Sheik, Joe Arrington-Bey, I never forget, they started to say stop, like, because we will call at 7:30 p.m. to for the conference call. You and I call, and and they were start making noises, stop doing this, stop it, and let us know, saying that it's not supposed to be done, and not supposed to drink like blood and stuff like that. But to me, I didn't see it. I didn't see it as bestiality. I definitely saw it as a way of bonding. Islam, you and I were bonding. We were bonding, and we were growing. And through that bond, I wish our obligation vows strengthened. And even though I was older, that's what I saw. And you were the only one willing, the only one I ever did that to, the only one that I entered this sacred mental grove with. And then we were married. I mean, you called me your wife. You said under the tree, I said they were having this marriage about, not marriage, this conversation on the sacred grove. They were saying about polygamy. And it was such a big thing, I guess, possibly because I have children. I had 2 children. I'm older. I didn't have much money, very little education compared to what you are used to. So it's like, how can I be any type of fit for you? But I was thinking to myself, then and even now, on a more divine level and manner. Because I think when you're dealing in divinity, and you come across someone that you knew lifetimes before, ancient lifetimes before, you come and you meet them again. Sometimes you are on 2 different thought process in reference to finance and education. Okay. But when you think of it, the financial area can be relearned. It's up to the 2 people that come together to take time and actually have the eyes to see and say, wait a minute, okay, she needs to learn how to, or he needs to learn how to be economically stable. you know. But on a divine thought, you would have to have, I think you would have to have a divine thought and not see what's just in front of you on a physical plane, but know that I knew this person before, and because I knew this person before, I had to be patient and watch this person grow and help this person. This is what love does to you, okay? And with education, it's the same. I'm not gonna, if someone is able to be taught, they're able to be taught. If they're able to relearn something that they already knew in the past, then they're able to relearn what they already knew in the past. I'm saying, how many millions of years ago? Islam? All right. I'm not thinking 1,000 years ago. I'm thinking millions of years ago, even, very, very long time. And I know, time there was when I say million, it could be zillion. Time there was when man was not. And I know I am exactly that. Man. I'm man. Islam. So one of the things, I couldn't understand. Maybe this is possibly why it was so difficult for me to understand why some of the Moors seemed to focus on the other lady, because she had better credentials and so forth, and especially in astrology, astronomy, and education, but in reference to representing um, you out being among other nations, foreign nations, and other foreigners, or other Moors that are educated, astute, well-rounded, and in their proper status. Because I think when you are on a divine thought, or when you in divine thought and you recognize this being that you came across was not a mistake, especially if you go to a point of consummating your vows as we did. It's not a mistake. It didn't happen by a coincidence. It's not a mistake that, yes, the TV can influence your psyche. Islam, it does. It can. It really can. But I'm telling you, because you too, we engaged together. I mean, we blood bonded together. You took from me here, I took from you. So we harmonized. So it was something there, and we did it so much, you know, and I don't know why it was an issue. Well, I remember reading on the Moorish American National Republic, how they said we're not supposed to do that. But it didn't feel wrong. You know how something feels like, oh no, you shouldn't do it. I didn't feel that way. It felt so natural. It just felt so natural, and I just felt it was not like it wasn't like on TV, like a beast, an animal. It was on a divine level and it felt really, really natural. So, and that is the basis of the obligation of marriage. So I remember when the elders would say, we don't divorce. And I think it's the reason why they say we didn't divorce is because of how intimate that act of blood bonding, consummation, you consummating your vows and you blood bonding is. So, and that's what we did. And I'm speaking true, Sheikh Dwayne Bafubay, Islam. So, I don't know what took place. I just know that a lot of anger, a lot of classism was thrown around in reference to you and I and me. In reference to us ever meeting. But what I'm here to say, truth is art and art is truth, right? Art is Allah. Excuse me. Truth is art, and art is Allah, Islam. And yeah, I have said prayers in reference to this being the last lifetime I know you. I have. I'm being honest. I have, because my heart, my heart. So much you allow, and then to see a side of you that seemed to be on a more what's the word? Always you trying to, so sometimes I don't know if you're trying to protect yourself, or you're trying to protect her. I don't know. Sometimes I'll ask myself, I was like, why would he do this? It seems so superficial, Islam, because the things say, you want to make things right. Well, you make things right, you honor your words. I got to a point where I said I didn't want to be compensated no more, because I didn't, I'm like, why should I force this more to do the right thing? And if compensation is only all that he can do, why not do it? And if I was the woman in his life that he claims he loved, why would I not encourage such things? See, I've been trying to give an understanding of my threats, of the threat I am in your life, when in reference to those that prefer her over me. And I don't, it's so, that to me is so like, whatever, it's like superficial. But what I keep coming back to, Dwayne, is the blood bonding and truth. Not only that, and the possibility of a child. The possibility of a child that you and I could have. Could have. The book is still open. Islam. That's why I'm doing this video. I keep coming back to. So I'm like, okay, because I know truth that I obligated to you in the sacred grove, and I know about. It's not like we blood bonded just once or twice. We did it so much. So much that the National Grand Sheik and the Sheikesses were talking in code and loud and letting me know that they like, don't, stop, you need, stuff like that. Cause we would meet before, early in the morning. You remember, before the conference call, and we would have our our time together, which was great. Eat fruit from a fruit vine and swim, play in the snow, whatever. Go walk in the market. Sit up straight. Wait. Sit up straight. Sit up straight. Eat. I don't eat like that now. It's like, anyway, I remember Assyria and Selena would call in the morning. Her phone would ring, it would be their number when I would be in the sacred grove with you. Early in the morning. So anyway, my consciousness changed, sheet doing about in 2010. I woke. The lady that looked just like me came to me, and she didn't say a word. She just did this. Well, she actually was doing this with her hand, and I just automatically started following her hands, like. Now so she threw her hands up, and I was like, and this black dot came and hit me right here. And at first I was so afraid to open my eyes. I was so afraid. And then I was like, when the black dot hit me, Imani and Abbas, they shook me. They're like, Mom, are you okay? And I was like, I'm okay. And I just went back to sleep. But I didn't never open my eyes when they shook me. I had my eyes closed and I opened my eyes and I just saw white fumes all over the place. Then I started, and after that experience was very lucid. Never experienced anything like this before in my life. I found myself learning Yoruba. I just spoke to my aunt a few days ago. I asked her, I said, do you remember when you came to the apartments and you saw those pictures on my wall? I had pictures of Anubis, pictures of Nefertiti, pictures of Lakshmi, pictures of um, um, different temples in Egypt. Pictures of I'm going to try to remember them all, to remember some, because it's been so geisha. When I say geisha, I mean the elephant. I can't even, because I haven't. I'm going to try to remember these pictures. Anubis, Lakshmi, Nefertiti. And when I say Egypt, it was Egypt, but it was also pictures from goddesses from Asia, Islam. It wasn't just Egypt. It was also Asia. And also learning I had documentation of the word Zeus and different Greek names, Greek gods, and goddess, and where they came from. I never wanted to learn stuff like that before, but I did. And I was at the magic shops all the time. I was burning incense and burning herbs and, doing all type, I was, and be up all night watching videos of Moors. I guess at the time we call them occult. You might have heard someone just a few minutes ago, female, say, I hope you did. I hope I got it on camera. Because there's no one in here but Imani and I. Islam. Okay, so I'm at Extended Stay America in Annapolis, Maryland, room 116. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, then I remember I brought this crystal where you're supposed to be able to move, without it'll just start moving by itself. Gargoyles. I had a gargoyle. I remember when I was, I guess that was a form of idol worshiping. But this is what I was this is just, I was starting, I was just like all over the place in reference to esoteric and energy and magic. And I was just, I didn't have anyone to talk to about it except for Dr. Aline and Kadira, pretty much, and that's it. I tried to talk to my aunt about it, but she, anyway, just go from there. I remember I was afraid to let her come into the apartment because she started talking about my mama, how my mother and so forth. So the reason I'm saying this to Wayne Bey is to say that what you see here, you are looking at a priestess who is relearning who she is. I know there's probably some energy to keep me from not going to my highest height that's trying to be directed towards me. Whether it's trying to block astrology and astronomy, possibly. Well, I just don't, all that means absolutely nothing. Because once, the highest self, it's just like I kept saying, I thought it was odd that after the lady, whom I'm assuming is the one that you claim you love, left my Twitter page, all of a sudden I had this huge, energy, thoughts to build my finance. Otherwise, I was not there. I went on Robinhood and I learned about people and stocks. this was after, I mean, as soon as she left, and I guess you and her were back on the same page, probably, having sex, whatever. So, I knew something was, so because of how that happened right after, it definitely led me to believe that possibly some type of energy or witchcraft was probably being done upon me or towards me. But you know what, Iman, not Iman, but she doing about for bait. I'm not worried about that. I'm not, because who is a higher witch or priest or priestess than spirits of Allah? Who is? I wasn't born yesterday, and I do know the knowledge of old time religion. When I look this way, I don't mean look. I'm looking like getting my thoughts. The knowledge of that old time religion is in me, and that's all I can say. I guess that's why I'm not afraid. I mean, some would be afraid, I guess, but I'm just not afraid of witchcraft. But I think sometimes what I have inside of me, some could be afraid of me, Islam. But I'm still changing, and I'm directing my energy this lifetime towards my higher self as much as possible. But I always keep Surah 2, Ayat 191 close to my heart until I'm able to raise my frequency to a point, that's Surah 2, Ayat 191, to a point where I'm like Neo, just, bending backwards and the bullets are going all around me, are going through me and not hitting me and so forth. So, because that's what I have to do. I've got to get my frequency up that high. So, Sheikh Dwayne Baffa-Bey, what I'm trying to say is to you is, and I'm not saying this for money. No, I'm not. And I'm not saying this because I'm getting this video so I can look cute and seduce you with my gappy teeth. The teeth that you probably like, does she brush? I brush. I chilled out a little bit on other, just like, I still, like my hair and doing things up, like I used to, but, I take care of myself. It's not easy experiencing what I experienced and knowing that you had, you could have stopped. You could have stopped it. So, what I'm saying to you is, yes, I have prayed that this be the last lifetime that I know you. I have. But I have never prayed that I wasn't your wife this lifetime. I always say I'm your wife this lifetime because I'm in the spirit of truth. But I have prayed that this be the last lifetime. And it's not because I don't love or care about you. It's because, if you're not able to raise your frequency enough, whatever, maybe there's a spell on you, I don't know. I don't know where you can be honorable in the spirit of truth, knowing all that has taken place, knowing what we shared, which might not mean nothing to you now, I don't know, or as much to you now, but it still means a lot to me. And respect that you were my first and only willingly. I have not gone back in a sacred grove. That was an experience that was very sacred for me. Exchanging of blood is very sacred. That is sacred blood. And we didn't just do a little bit. We were in there. Yeah, we were. And the thing is, Sheikh Dwayne Baffa-Bey, I wasn't a vegetarian then. I was still, so that within itself is spiritual. That lets me know you knew me. Because I don't think you ever, I don't know, I think you said you never went that route with anyone before. Because I was still eating turkey and chicken then. I was, slowly. I wasn't eating a lot of it, but I was still eating it. I definitely was not vegan vegetarian then. I was doing it slowly, I was still like easing off, changing my diet, still being more knowledgeable. That didn't stop you. That is a sign. That is a true sign. Islam, I am your wife this lifetime. That's truth. And there is no such thing as a divorce between you and I. So if I'm your wife, and like under the and I don't think I finished this thought. So one day the women on this conference call was having this conversation about polygamy, and I could tell some of them was so upset that I was still in your life. I guess because of their status, their wealth, their education, their prestige in their colleges, and being a part of different sororities and multi-dimensional and so forth. And here I am, awakening slowly, don't know anything like them, don't know much, but I just trust you. You tell me to jump, I say how high. You tell me to sit, I say how low. You say run, I say run where. That's all they probably saw of me. Someone that did whatever you tell me, and thought the world of you, except for when I got upset. It's like, but then I come back. I remember one time I was like so upset with you, and I was trying to go to work. I couldn't even go to work because all your energy was here because of all the blood bonding we did. I couldn't even work. I had to go back. I asked the person, can I leave early? They said yes. There's no problem. Because the blood bonding, it was all over me, and I could not. Your energy was so strong, because I was so upset with you. I think it was because of her. I think I found out about her, whatever, and I was like, I'm done, I'm finished. And then anyway, getting back, so the women on the conference call was just like going, they were very upset, and so not all, but I remember some of them was one of them said, um, if if he's doing for her, he should do for the other. So it let me know that you was doing stuff for her, probably because of her status and who she was, and that you had not did for me. I had Imani in a bath. I'm a single mother, so maybe you just didn't feel like it, or maybe for whatever other reason. I don't know, but we continue to blood bond. We blood bond all the way in New York. You remember New York is in 2015. We blood bonded, and we stayed. In fact, before I left, the blood bonding energy was so on me before I left, but I still left. So, and then one of the elders told me when I got here to don't. And I took off the rings because I have them on the Quran. Uh, don't keep your ring on, and stay loyal to Sheikh Dwayne Baffle Bay. He's your husband. He just said stay loyal to him, and he's gonna return to you. He's your husband. Keep your rings on. Keep your ring on. It was one ring. And then I remember after that day, I make a long story short, when the women, I think it was 2014, going on to 2015, close to Mother's Day. I think it was 2014 Mother's Day. Islam, 2014 Mother's Day, or during that weekend. And they were talking about polygamy, and some of them was like, upset. And anyway, that after the conference call, I met you under the tree, and I asked you, I said, because they said they were talking about marrying someone first, who marries who first. That came up, and then they hushed it up, and And I went under the tree. I said, Sheik Dwayne Bay. I didn't say it like that. So I asked, I didn't say Sheik Dwayne Bay. Because I said, who did you marry first? I asked you. And you said, I married you first. Islam. And then I said, and later on, I would say this, and I still say it today, even if she has a child by you, I didn't authorize you to even be with her. Islam. I didn't. And I say this because, and I feel I'm able to say it because of the spirit of truth. Not because I'm just egotistical. It's because of the spirit of truth. Islam. I didn't have to do witchcraft. Get my gang. I didn't have a gang of a coven of witches anyway, but I didn't have to get a gang of women to jump on her, to do witchcraft upon her, to harm her. I didn't have to. Islam. I didn't have to listen to the conference calls and listen to them humiliate her, talk about share and all this crazy other stuff to put her status down, make her feel like she's less than less than what she is naturally her as a celestial being. I didn't have to cause her harm, degrade her, remove her freedom, or put her freedom on the line as some form of bid, some form of ritual of enjoyment, slowly removing parts of her freedom as a ritual through enjoyments of pleasure. I didn't do none of that, sexual rituals and so forth. I didn't do any of that. All I've done, now I have reacted Islam when I was told, because I didn't know. I'm only going by what was said so many times. Not just by unclean, but by Moors. But I never. So what I have done is stand on truth. I stood on truth. That's all I did. And I knew that we were married, and the elder said that we do not divorce. That's it. And you blood bonded with me first. And we did it lots and lots of times. And I would say, Islam Sheik Dwayne Bay. If you would like to compensate me, you can. If that's all you can do in reference to your righteousness, in reference to your honor, if that's all that you can come together within your higher self to do, you can compensate me. But definitely you need to compensate. When I say compensate, you can compensate me as honoring the words that you've been saying for a long time. You've been saying you want to financially compensate me. The only reason why I denied it is because I got, financial compensation is not enough. Islam, it's not enough for sacredness. But if that's all you can give, if that's all the communication to your higher self that you can give in reference to me, in reference to truth, and you know what truth is, if that's all that can come to you through your sexual bonding with her, in reference to your higher self, if that's all the communication that comes to you through that divine, through what you would consider divine, right? Bonding, blood bonding with her, I'll accept it. But at least now you know why. If you hear me at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. saying this will be the last lifetime, in reference to Sheik Dwayne Bay and I being together, or I'm ever knowing you again, that's what the timeline. It's not because I didn't love. I did, and I did. I did, and I cried. Oh, I cried. But, Allah's great. So I just wanted to show you. This is where I got the rings. I don't know if you can see. So I keep the rings here. when they're, I don't know if you can still see, but that when they're not on my finger. The first ring, if you remember, I got in reference to us. I brought the ring in reference to healing and um, healing. And then the second ring I got, I found. I lost it and I found it. And I had prayed. I prayed and I found the ring. I think I lost it for almost a year. And when I was praying, I was praying for you. I was praying for you, and I found the. I never thought I'd ever find that ring. I thought I had given up, ever looking for it. And I was praying for you one day, one morning, and I found it. I think it was a morning, and I found the ring like right after I got through praying. I was so surprised. Anyway, Islam trying to. Anyway,